Hi, today we're going to be learning how to find the prime factorization of a given number by using either a factor tree or a factor ladder. To help us understand what prime factorization is, we need to understand what a prime number is. A prime number is a number that can only be divided by 1 and itself, such as 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, and so on. When we do a prime factorization of a given number, we use only prime factors, except for 1, to divide out the number so that we can come up with a multiplication equation that uses only prime factors to give us the product of the given number we started with. I'll show you an example of what I mean. Let's start with the number 180. Okay, we're going to start with a tree first, factor tree. So what we're going to think, what two factors can get us 180 when multiplied together? Well, let's start out easy. Let's just say 2 times 90. Okay, well 2's a prime factor, so we're going to circle that right off the bat. Now 90 isn't, and so we need to come up with two factors that will come up with 90. Let's keep going with that too. Well, 2 times 45 will get me to 90. 2's a prime factor, I'll circle it, but 45 isn't. Since it ends in a 5, I know I can use the factor 5, and 5 times 9 equals 45. Okay, so 5's a prime factor, so we're done with that one. But 9 isn't. 3 times 3 will give us 9. Both of those are prime factors, and once we've got all prime factors, we know we've completed our tree. Now, the final step of prime factorization is coming up with our prime factor equation that will multiply out to give us 180, our starting number. Okay, let's give it a try. So 180, we need to put these prime factors that we have in order. So we have 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. Okay, now let's multiply it out and see what we come up with. All right, 2 times 2 is 4. Now let's bring down the 3. So 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 3 is 36. And 36 times 5, the last time I checked, equaled 180. Wow, we got it right. That's awesome. All right, so that's a prime factorization tree. Now, let's look at how to make a prime factorization ladder. Okay, a prime factorization ladder, okay, starts very much the same way. We'll start with 180, our starting number, but now we're going to make rungs in a ladder. On the outside of the rung, we always have to have a prime factor. So we're going to have to be thinking of prime factors times another number that will give us this number inside of the rung. We'll start out simple again. Now 2 times 90 will get us to 180. So we'll make another rung, and we can circle the 2 because we know that that's a prime factor. Let's stick with 2. So 2 times 45, well, that gets us to 90. So let's make another rung. Now this time we'll use that 5 since 45 ends in 5. That's a prime factor. And 5 times 9 will get us to 45. Okay, 3 times 3, both are prime factors. And now that we have all prime factors left and no other number to factor out, we know that we've completed our prime factorization ladder. Okay, let's finish it off the same way as we did with our tree. We'll start with 180, and we'll put all of our prime factors in order and come up with our prime factorization equation. So we have 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. Wow, that's the same equation that we got with our prime factorization tree. So we know that this equals 180, and we've done our job. Awesome. It's your turn now. Using either the factor tree or the factor ladder, ladder methods, find the prime factorization of 200. Now, be sure that you build your tree or ladder first, then organize your prime factors into a multiplication equation. Lastly, check your work. Pause the video here and do your work. Turn it on again when you've completed your practice problem so we can check it together. Welcome back. Let's make a factor tree first. Okay, so we'll start with 200, and 2 times 100 works for me. 2 is a prime factor, 100 isn't. 2 times 50 makes 100. So 2 is a prime factor, but 50 is not, so we'll keep going. 5 times 10 will get me to 50. 5 is a prime factor, but 10 isn't. But 2 times 5, both of those are prime factors, and so we've completed our prime factor tree. All right, let's do it using a ladder this time. So we'll start here with 200, make our first rung, and this time, why don't we use a different set of factors to get us going? But remember, we always have to have a prime factor on the outside of the rung. Let's start with 5. I know that 5 times 40 equals 200. 5's a prime factor, so we'll keep going. Okay, now 5 times 8 gets us 40. 5's a prime factor, so we're good there. Now let's make the next rung. Okay, 2 times 4 gets us 8. 2's a prime factor, but 4 isn't, so let's finish it off. So 2 times 2, however, is 4. So we have our prime factors. Okay, let's check. We have 1, 2, 3 2's, 1, 2, 3 2's on the ladder as well, and we have 2 5's on our tree and 2 5's on our ladder. So our equation, regardless of which way we've done it, will come out the same. So let's write down our equation. 200 equals 2 times 2 times 2 times 5 times 5. Okay, looking pretty good so far. Now let's check our work. Okay, 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 5 is 40. And 40 times 5 is 200. Yay! We did it. Now, as long as you came up with this same prime factorization equation, pat yourself on the back. Great job. Now, if you didn't, that's okay too. Go back, go through the video, figure out where you misstepped, and correct it. Once you have your correction made, then pat yourself on the back because you know what? You made your brain grow today, and I'm proud of you for that. Way to go!